Welcome, everybody, to the We Dig Late Show. I am your host, Andy O'Neill. I'm also the owner of We Dig Metal Detectors.net. If you haven't, get over there and check us out for all your metal detecting and treasure hunting needs. Tonight, we have Ray Sawyer and Joe Setti joining us. Both are well known in the community. Both are very knowledgeable, and both are We Dig sales associates. So right now, I need you to go grab your favorite beverage, go grab a snack, and let's get this show started, folks. What's up, everybody? What's up? I am Andy. What's going on?
I said, what's up, everybody?
Oh, you're not live yet. Sorry. What's going on, everybody? It's Andy. Glad to be back. First show in a very long time. I haven't had one. I haven't done anything like this in a very long time. What's up, everybody? I see you all out there. Nice to see you. So tonight we have a couple great guests on. Joe Setti, Ray Sawyer. It's going to be a good show. We're going to talk about, I don't know if you ever heard of a thing called the OODA Loop. If you were in military or a police officer, you might know this. A good friend, Travis, from over at Rowan Relics. Whoa, that's a hard one to say. He turned me on to this a couple years ago, and it's a really good permission technique, and we're going to talk about that and some other stuff. We're also going to be talking about the new Minelab Manticore that's out, or it's called the Beast, right? And so let's bring the fellas out, and we'll get all that going here. First things first, what's going on, Ray and Joe? How are you all doing tonight?
Good, buddy. How are you doing?
Good. So
What's going on, guys?
So Ray, this is like your first appearance ever, right?
Pretty much my first live. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Joe's not so much. Not so much.
I've been around a little bit.
Yeah, everybody calls him Hollywood Joe because he's so important.
Yeah, right.
Anyway,
Everyone loves Joe.
yeah, they do. So first things first, guys. Just for the people that may not know you, uh, Joe, give us a rundown about yourself and how you got into detecting and all that. You don't have to make it a whole 4 hour life episode. Let's just get a rundown here, folks.
It's a long story actually, but I'll try to make it short. I used to work at a Toyota dealership, and I had this little young guy by the name of Trey Crawford used to come in all the time and talk about metal detecting. They call him a goober. Was not interested in the least about metal detecting, and one day he invited me to go out in upstate New York, and addicted from that day on.
Okay, what'd you start out with?
I started out with actually a Garrett A2 Max, and then we should go to list from the rest there, Eddie.
Yeah, that's a long list, brother.
Yeah,
That is.
yeah.
It's a long
Yeah, I'm
list.
not using the days too. We'll just use everybody's imagination in between.
Yeah, so he's went, and when I guess he didn't get his max from me, but I think every other one since then, I think you got from me, right? Am I wrong?
Yeah, remember we met because I won my Simplex from you.
Oh, that's right.
And
That's
I bought
right.
well, first I bought one from you, and then I won from Delkey.
Okay. All right. Yep. So yeah. So you got your last few from me. That's awesome. And I was gonna show your finds, guys, but I decided, I wasn't gonna do that because I don't know. Dude. They both have had some amazing finds. I'm just gonna say that, but I didn't want to do it because I'm trying to keep it not a super duper long show. You know what I'm saying? So, Ray, tell us about yourself.
So I started when I was younger on the beaches of Hamden Beach in New Hampshire, and my uncle used to detect out there, and I used to dig his holes for him. That kind of got me into the hobby a little bit, and I was on and off through my teenage years, and I got serious about it in my 30s, and bought some Garrett AT Pro. Was my first real good machine, and then I've just upgraded from there.
Yeah. So your
On and
AT
off.
Pro, well, you used your AT Pro for a long time, right?
Yeah, I was using the Pro for a long time. I switched to the Max, and I couldn't stand it. I didn't like the tones on it or anything like that, so I ended up buying the Knox like right after.
Mm-hmm. And you've had your Knox for a while, and I'm probably going to be
Yep.
upgrading soon, I would imagine. I think.
I don't know. I'm loving the Knox, man.
Yeah. All right. All right. So, um, what was I going to say? I was going somewhere with that, and I cannot recall what it was. Um, whatever. Not a big deal. So, what's that?
It's an age thing.
I probably. So, Joe, whenever would I guess you started working with We Dig what right at a year ago?
About a year. Actually, yeah, it should have been the anniversary a couple of days ago.
Yeah, I should have. I meant to post it. If you guys don't know, Ray and Joe both work for as sales associates for my company, We Dig Metal Detectors. Ray, I think, is right at about 2 years now, and Joe, you're right at about a year. So that's pretty exciting. And I think it's really nice when you are selling a metal detector or you have the ability to help your friends out when whenever they're in looking for a product, and it's nice to be able to do that. And I think, Joe, you've been doing that, and so has Ray, so that's good.
A lot of fun too, actually. I met so many people. Actually, I just got a permission from a guy I sold a detector to a year ago.
Yeah, good one too, right? Wasn't it?
Yeah,
Didn't you say something?
Be a good permission down in Jersey for sure.
Right on. So, have either of you guys heard of the OODA Loop? Before I talked to you about it?
No.
Not before. I watched it when you told me about it.
And I was in the military. I still haven't heard that stuff.
So the OODA Loop, and did I say we were going to talk about the OODA Loop first?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. All right. So the OODA Loop, here, let's get this over here. So if you guys out there haven't heard of this, this is a really cool concept. And this, what the OODA Loop is, it's an acronym for observe, orient, decide, and act. The way we're looking at it tonight is not how, it's not how you would think about it. We're looking at the OODA Loop and the eyes of the homeowner, because we know that when we're going to the door, we're already stressed out because we're going to knock on somebody's door. We don't know, and we're trying to ask them to dig holes in their yard, right? But what you don't ever really think about is how stressed out the owner of that property is. And a lot of times they're probably more stressed out than we are, because one, they're like, what's going on? Who's this person coming to my door? You know, who's pulling up? What, you know, getting out of their car? What do they want? So they're under a lot of stress. I mean, think about it. When you see somebody that you don't know pull into your yard or pull up your driveway, you know, you're like, what's going on out there? You don't know these people. So this is where we're coming from on this. So one second here. Let me pull this up because I got to get it right. There we go. So this is why we are looking at it from the homeowner's perspective. So the first part about it is to observe. And so the homeowner sees somebody pull up their driveway, pull in front of their house, get out of their vehicle. They are observing you from that moment on, right? They're seeing how you pull up to his home, how you are dressed, what condition your vehicle is, and, you know, if any people, how many people get out of the car. Most of the time when you want to go, when you go to a permission, you don't want to look like a ragtag, you know, ding dong, and you want to have yourself presentable, right? You don't want to look stupid, because you got to present yourself. You're selling yourself to this person in hopes that they let you metal detect in their yard. So that's the first step. They are observing you right off the bat. And you can imagine how many times you go to a house, or you've heard somebody go to a house and say, hey, man, you know, your buddy went to the house and he's like, they told me no. They're going to tell you no. And this is where this comes in, because you present yourself well and they observe you. And then the next step is to they're orienting. So they are thinking about why this person is here and what does this person want, you know? And this is, I mean, it's normal to feel that way, especially when anybody comes to anybody's house if you don't know them. And so the first step is that you want to go to these people's house. You want to be presentable. You want to give them your spiel, but you want to you don't want to come off you know, rude, or, you know, all of that. So when they're in this orientation stage of trying to figure out what you're doing there, this is when you're giving them your spiel. This is when you're telling them, hey, man, I'd like to, you know, come out here. I traveled for, you know, an hour to come out here. My buddy said this was right next to a Civil War property, and, you know, we'd like to metal detect, blah, blah, blah. This is when they are orientating on that. And this is an important part of it, because the next part is the most important part, and that's when they're deciding. This is when they're like, okay, guy, you know, you've given them your spiel, you know, so this is the part where you need to be able to read these guys' body language. You need to be able to see what their see the way their eyes are, the way their faces look. And if they're getting ready to say, you know, well, or I don't know, that's when you interject. That's when you've got to come in and try to break that loop of them, saying no, because you only get one shot at it. So this is the most important part. So if they're, look like they're saying they're getting ready to say no, that's when you got to come in and say, look, man, we know what we're doing. We've been doing this for a long time. We will respect your property. We will leave it clean. We'll take any of the trash. We'll show you our fines, whatever it is, to gain that permission. And that's the most crucial part. And then obviously the last part is to act on it. And by then, by the time they're acting, they've already made their decision, and hopefully you've, convinced them, right? So have you guys had any of those situations where you were using the OODA Loop but didn't even realize it?
No.
You use the OODA Loop every day in everyday situations. You just may not realize it.
Last permission I asked for, I had a gun pulled on me, so I didn't sure it worked.
Are you kidding me?
I'm right down the street from my house.
Are you kidding?
No.
Holy crap! Were you carrying yourself?
I pretty much told him it's a good thing I wasn't, but no, I didn't. I didn't have anything.
Oh, God, I'll tell you what, I carry all the time. So, you're probably pretty lucky I wasn't with you.
That would have been cool with me.
That's a pretty scary situation, huh?
Yeah, dude, he was out mowing his yard on a mower.
And you just walked up and said, "Hey, man, can I?"
Oh, I pulled in the driveway and I flagged him down. He shut it off. I was real nice about it. I was dressed nice, and he pretty much told me to get off his property and pull behind his back, and out it came. It's like, oh,
Wow.
seriously? That's exactly what I said to him. Seriously?
Wow. So, Ray, do you mostly dig on private properties or public ground?
Usually, yeah, either public or usually public woods or public parks, and anything private, I'll usually get friends of friends to refer me to other places. So pretty easy.
All right. Well, that's different. So the OODA Loop doesn't really affect you as much as far as asking for permissions. Joe could have really used the OODA Loop the other day before he had the gun pulled out on him. I'm just saying.
Bulletproof vest.
So anyway, I thought that was really good information to share, because we use that every day in our lives, making decisions or in all kinds of situations. We are using the OODA Loop without even realizing we're using it because we didn't know the name. But Travis, he's the one who kind of turned me onto it a couple years ago, and I just thought it's nice to share. And go over and check Rowan Relics out. God, I'm having a hard time saying that tonight. And maybe he will give him a subscribe, because he's awesome, and he does pretty good content. He's actually running for sheriff in his town right now, which is pretty neat.
Andy, they're saying they can't hear me in chat. Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you.
Wonder why they can't hear me.
I don't know.
They're saying me too.
Can you hear you?
Probably me.
How about that? Give him a mic check.
Can you guys hear me? Eric says he can hear me. Maybe you people need hearing aids.
I turned your volume up.
Oh, maybe that was a little down. All right, we'll see how that works.
I turned your volume up. Maybe that'll help.
I can't get the mic any closer to my mouth. I'll be eating it.
Mm-hmm.
So, what are your guys' thoughts on beginner metal detectors? Simplex. That's hands down the number one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say yes.
The Vanquish too, the 540.
540. See, not everybody, I don't think, has money to go with the 540 or 440 or not 5 or 440. I mean, even, so people have budgets. Most people like to, if they're jumping into something, they don't go all the way in. You know, they kind of put their feet in the water, right? So I thought it would be nice to offer some good ideas for some people out there that are looking for a beginner detector. And I know most of the people probably in chat are like, dude, we don't care about beginner detectors. We care about the new Minelab, probably.
Actually, the chat is blown up with Simplex, so
Yeah. Well, I got to say the Simplex is an amazing machine for the money. So you cannot beat it. You cannot beat it. Now, I put 3 metal detectors on the screen. I put the Ace 200 because of the price. It's $179.95. It's a great entry-level metal detector for the money. I put the 440 up there, not because it competes with the Simplex anymore. It beats the Simplex on the beach. That's why I put it up there. I put that one up there because it's much better on the beach than the Simplex or the Ace. So, and some people live by the beach. I don't, but some people do. So, that's why I put that one up there, because I don't recommend it to go, because it's not fully waterproof. You can put the coil in the water, but it's not fully waterproof. So I don't recommend going too close to the water, because you don't want to drop it and then it's gone.
Actually, me and Ray were in a post night where some guy was on the beach with that, and a wave hit it, and he said it stopped working instantly.
Really? Are you kidding me?
No.
Wow.
Nope. I commented first, and Ray came in behind me.
All right, so that's why you don't go in the water with the on the beach in the water with a Vanquish. But if you want to stay in the dry sand, that's where you need. That's the unit, or even just the surf, right? Is that what it's called? The wet sand before the water, the surf.
Yeah, sounds good. Surf sounds good, man.
Is that what it is? So even just the surf, that would be better than the Simplex or the Ace. But the Simplex, by far, hands down, best beginner metal detector for the money. Can't beat it at all.
The only downside with the Simplex is salt water.
Yeah, but exactly.
Yeah, it does not like saltwater beaches.
Yeah, it doesn't like saltwater beaches at all. But I don't think it does as bad in the dry sand, right? I don't know.
No,
I've never used it.
Dry sand, it's okay. It's definitely the wet sand. It's chatty as hell.
Really? All right. Well, see, I don't do much beach hunting, and I definitely wouldn't be taking my Simplex to the beach if I was going to the beach to hunt, right? I'd be taking my Equinox, or, even my Legend would do better than the Simplex. So, yeah. I say get the Simplex if you got the money. And
I agree, 100%.
Let's see here, guys. Hold on a second. I think we need to do this. I think we have all seen the new Manticore, right? Everybody's seen that, right? Out there. We're all wanting to watch it. So I'm going to play the trailer first, the one they put out, and then I'm going to we're going to dissect it. Okay, come on, man. I didn't mean to play it again. Okay. First off, let's be honest. Like, Minelab is so awesome at advertising their products. They are just killer, right? God. So I don't remember when the Equinox came out. I mean, they literally jumped out of the plane holding the Equinox, parachuting down to the metal detecting event. How cool was that? So what were you gonna say, right?
No, I just laughed at that.
Oh, so let's look at this machine, because what I think there's a lot here that needs to be unpacked. First off, let's start with the Scorpion here. So the Scorpion, and then it shoots off to the coil, or not the coil, but the arm cuff here. And let's look at that. Let's look at this arm cuff here. So if you notice on that arm cuff right there, it's adjustable. So it slides back and forth. I guess that's where they get the scorpion, whatever. That's what I would think. Anyway, so it's fully adjustable, and there's a lot of adjustments in that, which is pretty sweet. That reminds me of kind of the Amphibio with its adjustment. That was like one of my favorite features of the Amphibio. Besides it being like a super heavy machine, that was a really cool feature. Now let me back out of this. Let's see here. Now let me go where the coil is. There it is. Wait, is it back here? Yeah, it's back here. So let's look at this coil. All right. Look at that. That has coil ears on the coil itself, and then coil ears wrapping around the coil ears on the shaft.
That's huge.
So if you guys were thinking that they were going to have any more coil ear issues, I think that might be resolved. And also, if it breaks, a shaft is a whole hell of a lot easier to replace and a whole lot less expensive than a coil, right?
Oh, yes.
So that's a really good improvement. It looks to me also like this shaft is a carbon fiber shaft. Now, it seems to me it is. That's what I've read a couple people say it, and then I think
the whole machine.
Yeah, I think the whole shaft itself is carbon fiber. I think so. Which that's pretty nice. Let's back out of here. All right. And obviously, man, that coil, it looks like a spider web almost or something, man. It's just,
pretty cool looking, man.
I know. I wonder if each one of those those lines that come out and, all the way across, if they actually are serving a purpose, like if there are actual wires in there that are helping it detect, or if they're just for show. Because I don't know, it just looks really cool. Now this is the fun part though, because there's a lot to unpack on there. Let me see. I think there might have been a better shot of it up here, wasn't there? Yeah. Here's a lot to unpack here. Let's zoom in. All right, first thing we see down here, let's look at the bottom, is the Manticore, and then the Multi-IQ Plus. So Multi-IQ Plus, to me, seems like it's going to have a lot more, frequencies. I think it's going to go a lot more than 40. I think what's the CTX have, like 100?
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Something like 100 frequencies. So I think this is if we look, let me just back up. If we look at the whole thing itself, I mean, it obviously has CTX feel to it, plus it also has Equinox feel to it, like the power button, the brightness button, the headphone, Wi-Fi, and the profile button are all that, the head shape, all of that. That's like that's Equinox, right? But let's look at these buttons here real quick. Okay. So let's start at the left circle right there. So you got the left circle, which is your all metal mode, right? And then you got your right circle, which possibly is like an updated checkbox from the CTX, or it could be an accept or reject button for discrimination.
I think it is with the X on top.
It could be one or the other. Obviously it's all speculation here, guys. Besides, the obvious, like the all metal mode and the settings button. But it's all speculation. Seems to me like that's either an updated checkbox or an accept or reject button from the CTX. Then let's look at the arrows. So the up arrow will take you to the settings. The down arrow is pinpoint, and the left and right arrows are the sensitivity. And if you look at the bottom of this screen right here, that's absolutely a CTX detect screen. The lighter gray areas are where your discrimination pattern, what you've discriminated, or the darker gray areas are what you've discriminated. So that is definitely from the CTX. Absolutely. I don't know anything about if there's going to be any GPS on here because from what we see, we don't see that. Okay. But then you can see right here, it is obviously a color screen. So you got your green for the battery, your red for the arrows there on your sensitivity. And obviously your sensitivity says it's 20 here. So it goes probably to 25 at least, I would think. Then you got your multi-IQ right above the 20, which there's a little symbol next to it, which makes me think that there are going to be different modes to this multi-IQ. And it just seems like that's why that symbol would be there, because you'd probably be able to scroll through it in the in the settings options. Then look at that, an 88 on the screen. So does this machine go to a 99 VDI?
Hope so. That'd be cool.
I would say probably.
That's what it looks like. Obviously, then the depth meter's right next to it. And then look up here on the top. So on the top, all the way at the left, there is a field mode. So obviously, that's where you're going to know where your modes are, it seems like. I don't know if those arrows pointing next to it are like so you know that you're in the control mode where you can use your up, down, left, right as like, changing your sensitivity or maybe volume or whatever, or pinpoint, and then there's like another one that is for when you're in the settings menu, like it'll change to the settings menu. You know what I'm saying? So I'm thinking there's something there like that. If you guys know what's next to it, let me know, because it sure the heck looks like a weight to me, some sort of weight, and I have no idea what that is. I have no clue. But then right next to it's a flashlight. So is there a flashlight on this thing? Because it sure looks like it.
That wave is probably channel scan.
I was thinking that wave's a vibrate.
No, that's possible.
I was thinking there's a flashlight and there's vibrate.
Maybe. Didn't think of that.
And then right next to it, Wi-Fi Plus. So what is that, like Wi-Fi 6 or something for your Bluetooth? Like, is like a faster Bluetooth or something?
Oh, guess we'll find out soon enough, though, right?
Yeah. All right. But let's look up here at the top, because not a lot of people probably saw this one either. So on the at the top, you got your Minelab logo in the middle, but on the left side and the right side, there's two little sensors. One is your charging sensor, right? One's to let you know when it's charging, you know that if it's blinking or if it's steady red or whatever. But what's the other one? I'll tell you what I think it is. I think it's a sensor for a daylight sensor. Like when you're on your phone, if you're out in the sun, your screen will get brighter or it'll get darker. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think that's what that is.
That's cool.
Wouldn't that be cool? I mean, I think that's what it is. I mean, why else would they have two sensors up top? I don't know. But she's pretty. It's a pretty nice looking machine, huh? All the way full. And then we haven't even said anything about these. Hold on, I got to get over here. Let me get out of this Zoom. There we go. And let's go. Where is it? I think it's close to the end. Yeah, right here. There we go. And then, look at those. Those are some nice clips there for the shaft. They're not like the other Minelab, is it? Or the Equinox. Nope. So that's a nice improvement.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be a pretty nice machine, folks. That is going to be a pretty nice machine. We don't know how much it's going to be, We don't know its a release date. We know that tomorrow they're doing a live event, and we're going to know a lot more about it tomorrow. And hopefully, we'll look back and say, damn, Andy, you were right about some of that stuff. Because I think I am. Me and Iffy Signals. You guys don't know Iffy. If you guys know Iffy, but if you don't know Iffy and you're watching, me and him are pretty good buddies, and we go back and forth a lot. And man, we were dissecting this thing hard. It's gonna be a good machine. And then obviously, what do they say at the end? Did it go away? I can't. It's not pulling it up here. There it is. Deep power, lightning speed, deadly accurate. You know what they said? You guys remember what they said? They said our Equinox is going to, it's going to obsolete all single frequency metal detectors. I'm not saying it did, but I'm saying everybody's went to multi-frequency since the Equinox, right? So they're usually right on what they say. It's pretty awesome. I'm excited, if you can't tell. It's going to be a good machine. It's going to be a good machine.
Yeah, it is. Can't wait.
What do you guys think?
I want to try one out.
You want to buy one now?
I said I want to try one out.
Oh, yeah. I am definitely going to. We will definitely be trying them out. I don't know. I might just get one personally and just send it to you guys to try out so you guys really like it, and then you got to get your own.
That's to compare it to the Deus. We'll see.
Oh, you know that's going to happen. There's going to be tons of videos of that. And people, this is not a response to Deus or, Nocta Macro. Minelab has like 70 engineers, dude. They probably put the Equinox out and then immediately started working on this project. This is not a response to anybody. This is just Minelab being Minelab, coming out with good detectors. So it's going to be exciting. Anyway, folks, what time is it? Look, see how long? I can't even tell you, but I bet I'm right at about 35 minutes or so, Joe. Nice try, buddy.
Yep.
It's the shortest stream on earth.
I know, but I don't want to keep everybody all night, man. Nobody has time to be sitting here all night listening to us jib jab. And I'm the one doing all the talking anyway. Shit. All right, folks. We're going to end it here. It was nice talking to you. Next week we will I think we're going to have New Age Goonies on. Dwight's going to be on. So that'll be a good show. Dwight's pretty cool cat. So, all right, guys. It was nice seeing you. Thanks for joining.
Good night, everybody.
See you next time.
Thanks, everyone.